Some songs are written to entertain, and others are written because the person holding the pen has no other way to survive what they are feeling.
We started singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie.
Across the long history of rock and roll, a handful of songs have crossed that line into something raw, something closer to a wound set to music.
Would you help me stand?
If the deeper stories behind rock music interest you, consider subscribing so you never miss a video like this one. Here are 10 of the most painful rock songs ever written, and almost nobody talks about them.
If the moment is all we are, or quicker.
Number 10, Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton.
Would you know my name?
In the spring of 1991, Eric Clapton lost his 4-year-old son Connor in a tragic accident in New York City. The grief was unimaginable, and for a long while Clapton did not pick up a guitar at all. When he finally returned to writing, the result was a song so quiet and so vulnerable that it felt less like a single and more like a private letter set to a melody.
Wouldn't be the same.
The lyrics ask the simplest, most devastating question a parent can ask. Would his child even know him on the other side?
Would you hold my hand?
The song became a hit, but most listeners hum it without realizing it is a father trying to find a way to keep breathing. Clapton co-wrote the song with songwriter Will Jennings, and the two completed it in just a matter of weeks in late 1991.
'Cause I know I just can't stay.
It was released in January of 1992 and went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Clapton has said in interviews that he was not sure he wanted to release it publicly at all, that it felt too exposed, too specific to one wound.
I'll find my way.
He won 3 Grammy Awards for the song in 1993, including Record of the Year. But he has also admitted that performing it night after night on tour became emotionally unsustainable, and he eventually stopped playing it live for several years because it simply cost him too much each time.
There'll be no more tears in heaven.
Number 9, The Day the World Went Away by 9 Inch Nails.
And listen to the world's instead.
Trent Reznor wrote this song in a period of deep personal collapse, dealing with addiction, isolation, and the recent loss of his grandmother, who had raised him.
Face forced to portray.
The track moves slowly, almost reluctantly, as though the singer cannot bear to finish the thought. There are no clever hooks, no big chorus, just a man whispering into a microphone that the world has emptied out around him.
The day the whole world went away.
Fans of the band know its weight, but in the wider rock conversation, it rarely gets the attention it deserves, perhaps because it asks the listener to sit still inside someone else's grief for nearly 5 full minutes. The song appeared on the 1999 album The Fragile, a double record that Reznor has described as his attempt to document a complete psychological unraveling. Number 8, Nutshell by Alice in Chains. Recorded in 1994 during a stripped-down acoustic session, Nutshell is widely understood to be one of the most direct windows ever offered into the inner life of Lane Staley.
And yet I fight this battle.
By that point, Staley was already deep in the struggles that would eventually take his life. His voice on the recording is exhausted and trembling, almost as if he is talking to himself rather than to an audience. The lyrics speak of being trapped, of losing the will to even reach for help. Listeners often discover the song years after Staley's death, and the experience can feel like reading a letter that was never meant to be opened. Staley died on April 5, 2002, and his body was not discovered for 2 weeks, a detail that makes the isolation described in Nutshell feel even more unbearable in retrospect. The acoustic session where the song was captured was called MTV Unplugged, filmed in April of 1996, and it turned out to be one of the last major public performances Staley ever gave. Number 7. Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, later reimagined by Johnny Cash.
I hurt myself today to see.
The original recording is already a brutal piece of writing about self-destruction and emotional numbness. But when Johnny Cash recorded his version near the end of his life, the song became something else entirely, a quiet confession from a man who had outlived most of the people he loved.
The needle tears a hole. The old
Cash was frail, nearly blind, and grieving the recent loss of his wife June. The accompanying video, filmed inside his old home, is widely regarded as one of the most painful pieces of music footage ever captured.
The needle tears a hole.
Cash passed away only months after its release. Trent Reznor, who wrote the original, has said openly that after seeing Cash's version, he felt the song no longer belonged to him.
My sweetest friend.
Number 6. Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan.
I'ma take this badge off of me.
Most people remember this song as a campfire sing-along, gentle and easy on the ear. Far fewer know it was written for the funeral scene of a dying sheriff in the film Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
I can't use it anymore.
Dylan wrote it as a man slowly accepting the end of his own life, asking to be relieved of the weight of his badge, his violence, and his time on Earth. Stripped of its sing-along reputation, the song is a soft surrender, a man making peace with the door he can already hear opening.
Gonna wipe these tears off of my face.
The film was released in 1973, directed by Sam Peckinpah, and Dylan himself appeared in it as a minor character named Alias.
That long black cloud is coming down.
The song runs under 2.5 minutes in its original form, yet it has been covered more than 500 times by artists ranging from Guns N' Roses to Roger Waters.
I'ma put my guns in the ground.
If this kind of deeper look behind the music is the reason you love this channel, take a moment to drop a comment and let us know where you are watching from.
I saw you in heaven.
We read every single one, and it genuinely helps us keep making videos like this for people who still care about the stories behind the songs. Number 5. Asleep by the Smiths.
Sing me to sleep. Sing me to sleep.
Released as a B-side in 1985, Asleep is one of the most quietly devastating songs Morrissey and Johnny Marr ever put to tape. The narrator speaks directly to the listener, asking them to sing him to sleep and not to wake him in the morning.
And then leave me alone. Don't try to.
The song uses the sound of a soft music box and distant wind, almost like a lullaby being sung at the edge of a cliff. It became known to a younger generation only after it appeared in a popular novel and film years later. Even then, many listeners missed how openly it speaks about the wish to simply stop existing.
I will feel so glad to go.
The novel was Stephen Chbosky's The Perks of Being a Wallflower, published in 1999, and the film adaptation came out in 2012. In both versions, the song is used at a moment of profound adolescent loneliness, which is exactly the emotional register Morrissey was working in when he wrote it.
Don't feel bad for me. I want you to know.
Number 4. One More Light by Linkin Park.
Stay where the signs I ignore.
Chester Bennington had a voice that could fill arenas, but on this song he barely lifts it above a whisper. The track was reportedly written after the band lost a close friend, and the lyric, "Who cares if one more light goes out," became almost unbearable in hindsight.
Help you not to hurt anymore.
After Bennington's own death in 2017, the song took on a second life as a memorial for him, his friends, and countless fans who saw their own struggles reflected in his voice. It is the rare rock song that asks the listener, very gently, whether they would be missed.
Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky?
Bennington died on July 20th, 2017, which happened to be the birthday of his close friend Chris Cornell, who had died just 2 months earlier in May of that same year. Bennington had delivered a heartbroken eulogy at Cornell's funeral, and the footage of that eulogy, set alongside One More Light, circulated widely online after his death. The band's remaining members have said that performing the song in the years since has required every piece of strength they have left.
If a moment is all we are, or quicker.
Number 3, Black by Pearl Jam.
Out before me as her body was.
Eddie Vedder reportedly wrote much of Black during a difficult period in his personal life, and the band has long resisted releasing it as a single, treating it as something too personal to commercialize.
Here I tasted and breathed this taste.
The lyrics describe a love that has ended, a man left staring at the empty space where another person used to be. The final lines, asking why someone he loved so deeply could not be his, have become one of the most quietly heartbreaking moments in modern rock.
The club of what was everything. Oh,
Even decades later, when Vedder sings it live, the audience often goes quiet, as though they understand they are witnessing something private being shared with thousands.
said, all been washed in blood, tattooed heavily.
The song appeared on the band's debut album, 10, released in August of 1991, and despite never being officially released as a commercial single in the United States, radio stations played it so frequently that it became one of the most requested rock songs of that entire decade. Number 2, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. On the surface, this is one of the most beloved songs in rock history, a soft acoustic ballad sung around the world. But underneath the warmth is something far darker.
So you think you can tell?
The song was written by Roger Waters and David Gilmour for Syd Barrett, the band's original creative force, who had drifted away due to mental illness years earlier.
We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl.
The lyrics describe two souls swimming in a fishbowl, longing for each other across an impossible distance. Many listeners sing along without knowing they are mourning a man who was technically still alive, but already lost to the people who loved him most. Barrett actually visited the recording sessions for the Wish You Were Here album in 1975, appearing unannounced at Abbey Road, so changed in appearance that his former bandmates did not recognize him at first. Gilmour has described that day as one of the most distressing of his life.
My hands felt just like two balloons.
Barrett died in 2006, having spent his final decades in near-total isolation in Cambridge, painting and gardening, largely cut off from the world that had once celebrated him.
How I wish you were here.
Number 1, Fire and Rain by James Taylor.
I walked out on the morning and I wrote down this song.
James Taylor wrote this song in the late 1960s, weaving together 3 different sorrows from his own young life. The first verse refers to a friend who had passed away. The second verse refers to his own struggles with addiction and time spent in psychiatric care. The third verse refers to a band he had loved that fell apart before its time.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen
What sounds at first like a gentle folk rock song is actually a young man trying to make sense of how much loss a single person can carry at once. And yet, by the final chorus, There is something close to peace in his voice.
Seen sunny days that I thought would never end.
That is why it sits at number 1 on this list. Not the most dramatic, not the loudest, but a quiet reminder that even the most painful songs can offer a kind of comfort.
To talk about things to come, sweet dreams and flying machines.
They tell the listener that someone else has stood in that same dark room and found their way back out. And as long as the song keeps playing, the listener never has to stand there alone.
Times a night would not find a friend.